You can win cash and earn credits just by clicking the link below and signing up for kill races, solo, duo, last Spartan Standing. It's all on the link below the ZLEAGUE tournament platform. You can earn 500 credits just by signing up through the link below.
This match is the most important match that these teams have played in months. Ever since Kansas City, this is the one that matters the most if you're gonna buy yourself some opportunity today. And we already see the teams coming out ready to rumble as we see a ton of action start to sprout towards this grapple side. And it looks like Spacestation, look how they're playing in that triangle, man. 3 players pushing forward, and they're gonna be able to find their kills.
Yeah, the kills didn't come early for Spacestation, but they believed in the opening strategy, and as a result, have numbers for it as Coach Cobb goes down. Abager doing his best to stay alive, but he goes down here as well. So Spacestation with a great early start here. You want to see them get map control now. You want to see them get up to that top skewer, maybe top tower.
Yeah, I absolutely want to see them play the numbers, right? So whenever the numbers go down, they need to be fast and gain that map control as soon as possible. And that's how they can overcome Incognito. If they can consistently get the numbers, play fast, be aggressive, pull flags, that's where you can overwhelm a team like Incognito. And that's exactly what Spacestation have done to start.
And I love the awareness here from Ace. He realizes he's the only one alive for SSG, but it's also 3 down for Incognito. So I love the job there by Ace, inching that flag forward and waiting for his teammates to revive to get this first cap in.
You see the pace slowing down as Suppress is in the back, shooting down players left and right, but the flag gets returned and Spacestation's first attempt is shut short, and that's a problem for Spacestation because everything in the beginning went right. They got the numbers, they got the pull, they got the flag away, but they can't execute on the end play, and that's been a problem that not only perpetuates in gameplay, but that's perpetuated in their story of HCS. They have never been able to finish out a tournament strong. They've never been able to live to their expectations, and they need to swap that narrative today. They need to show that this is their time to stay, and Tylenol opens it up with a triple, making it an overkill as he earns all the kills on the map, rotating away, Tylenol breaking the map open.
Tylenol seemingly understanding the question marks around him and his team as he puts the team on his back with the overkill. Collect now with that overshield as well. And SSG is in every position to set up and score this first flag. As it looks like we're going to get a pull as well. 2 down for Incognito, now 3 as well. This is where you need to execute, right? We didn't see that first flag go in for SSG despite having numbers. Let's see how they execute and play this one right here.
Love this. Collect moving fast, had that overshield, decided it's more important for him to get time on the objective, fly that flag through, get it back, and let your teammates play the defense. And that's led this flag to get all the way back home, but they have to finish the fight. The push from Incognito's coming in. The slays are about even. Tylenol drops down, hate him alone, but it's Elam Ace who comes out on top, and he's gonna punch the first flag in for Spacestation Gaming.
And it was the recognition of the situation there that earns SSG that first flagpole, noticing that 2 players, before Incognito lost 2 guys, SSG lost 2. SSG saw that in the feed, realized it's time to play Team Slayer, slay it out enough to get that first cap, and as a result, take the early lead.
Slays have been important for Spacestation thus far. It's provided them space, it's provided them speed, it's provided them objective efficiency. They need to keep up the slaying prowess today, and so far I just see a confident Spacestation ahead of us, and it's because largely this man right here, as he hardly ever misses those types of shots, as he's going to be able to get one and tries his best to stay alive. Watch out for Collect. I have him as a superstar in the making. His ability to move upon the map, his ability to execute on kills, he's as confident as you can possibly be in this game.
Yeah, and even outside of that, just the intangibles, that you'd be surprised to find out that Collect is 18 years old. His commitment to film, his commitment to, like I said earlier, playing in Money 8s after a horrifying loss last week in that super qualifier. So not surprised to see here SSG jumping out to a hot start as they take the 2-0 lead.
And I love the fact that Spacestation really committed to a young gun to bring life to this team. You know, having a couple lackluster finishes back to back, they've made drastic changes, only really keeping Tylenol on Ace as the core 2. They bring in 2 very young guns and Suppressed and Collect, and They have just been an absolute pleasure to watch. Really the bright spot of this team. Suppress everyone was surprised when Kratos, when he left that Kratos roster, supposedly getting dropped from that team. And he instantly found himself a home on Space Station, and the tandem of him and Collect have just been a devastating duo to watch.
Yeah, and sometimes having that chip on your shoulder, right? We know Kratos has plenty of it, so imagine getting dropped by him, right? You got to take on a little bit of that chip as well, and as long as you harness it, it can be an advantage for you. It kind of adds to that edge as a competitor. I think we've seen more often than not the fire and passion come out of Kratos to press another player like that. As Ace is no shields and the flag is going out, so a chance here for Incognito to answer back.
And such a clean pull from Incognito. They got the numbers, but it's Suppress who's playing spoiler, staying hidden. He tries to hit the nade out. The repulse going to be enough to keep the sword away, but they need to get the kill. Hayden reapproaches the fight, and Hayden comes out on top with the help of Cobb. Neighbor in at the right moment to get the flag cap.
Oh my goodness, and just as it looked like Suppressed bought his team enough time to get that return, no, Incognito scores the flag, but take a look at the kill feed. It took a lot of resources to do that. Don't be surprised to see a counter from SSG.
And the game is going to be won on the margins, right? It's the nade that goes just a little bit too far from Suppress. You can't afford those little mistakes, as they will come to bite you. Suppress hits the right nade, we probably see a return on that flag. Instead, Incognito get themselves one step closer to tying this game, and if they can get away with this overshield, they're going to be in a great spot. But Carme is hyper exposed. It doesn't matter. He glows yellow as his team pushes forward, and he falls off the map in beautiful fashion, thinking he had the repulse, but he never actually picked it back up, and that will be a quick demise of the overshield.
Oh, and those are those types of mistakes that could lead to just as we see on screen, a potential pull, and even worse, a third score for SSG is with 5 minutes left, starting to build that gap a little bit. But Tylenol, look at him spotting the gaps, creating a gap for himself, but it's not going to lead to a kill. Very interesting there. You really thought the positioning from Tylenol was going to be enough to sneak a kill in, but instead he goes down. Incognito with a chance here. Both flags out. Ada going down as well. Collect. Can't take down Carmea, and Carmea Tools, that's the player I want to see step up here, but he goes down to Tylenol, and this one is just an absolute free-for-all. We gonna rag on Tylenol for not getting those kills, but he was an important player in that play because he was able to buy time. He was able to get them. We get numbers, get information. Collect use that wonderfully, getting a double and almost the triple. The team stabilizes from the push from Incognito, able to get the return on the flag and get them back to even footing. And Collect got another triple. Oh my God, he's a walking multi-kill. Oh, wow. I was really surprised to see that there. SSG seemingly on their heels. Not a position you want to be in. You always want to be proactive as opposed to being reactive here in Halo. So very surprised to see SSG. But you know what they did there? They stuck to their guns. They knew that maybe slowing down the pace, parking the bus was the right play there. And the result shows it, as they've now got a chance to extend the lead to 3-1.
Tylenol getting a little impatient there is going to cost his life as Incognito start to find their way out of the base. And well, Neighbor needs to win this fight, and that's exactly what happens. It's Suppressed who's the last on the front lines as he works to get damaged. Tylenol comes in for the help, and Suppressed stays alive. And remember, it's the little plays that make the difference. It's about staying alive on the push. It's about finding opportunity when you thought there was none, and Suppress is able to get a flag out and another slay. This kid is absolutely insane. I love to see what he's been able to bring to this Space Station gaming roster.
Yeah, and at this point, the eye test, I would give Space Station an A-, Incognito maybe a C+, a B- if I'm a friendly teacher providing the curve. But despite that, it's still a close game. It's still 2-1. Now, I would expect this flag to go in here just based on, like I said, the eye test and what we've seen up until this point. But it's kind of crazy, Tools, the fact that SSG looks really strong, but they're only up by 2. But that's going to change as they score that flag right there.
They score the flag, but Incognito got a quick 2 down. Maybe an opportunity here as Collect is last alive. Aperture will be able to pull this flag out, and now it's about what Space Station does on the respawn. Do they push backwards? Do they overextend? It looks like they're going to try to wrap back behind this flag, but with that sword kill and Collect going down, that's about so much space for Incognito just to fly forward, and that flag looks to be largely uncontested as Carmea swings in for another.
Yeah, this is one of those decisions you have to make, and I'm almost positive Coach Elamite in the comms, telling his team to play back right there, let that go, electing instead to play for map control, and as a result, you've got guys like Collect with the Commando at mid-map, with the high ground, Tylenol with the sword, and it's all because of the call from Coach Elamite to let that flag in.
They're ready for another push, but the kills are going to be so important here. And there we go. 3 down, neighbor last alive. And thus they come swarming. It's a sea of yellow pushing forward as the base is controlled. The route is clear. And now Incognito has to decide what to do off respawn.
Yeah, and this is chess being played, not checkers. SSG saying, we'll give you guys the flag score so long as we get map control, control of the sandbox, control of numbers, as they're doing just that. Collect with the double kill, suppressed with a collective triple kill. And we've seen so much of that here early in game 1, Tony, or Toolez, excuse me.
Oh, we see them all fall down once again, but it's the cross map shot that keeps the flag out for now. Collect's taking heavy damages as well. Can he get it in? Oh, just at the nick of time, they go up 4-2, and now it's 1 minute and 30 seconds to find 2 flag captures. Incognito has to soar.
Yeah, again, I love that. That was all a part of the plan that was meticulously crafted there by SSG. I should say by the coach, and then executed on by SSG. And Toolez, this is what we talked about at the very beginning. We know they have all the intangibles. They have everybody on this roster. They have the great Oregon SSG to be a championship contending team here. And the Super going to be the first step to showing you deserve and have what it takes in Orlando and Seattle for Worlds later this year.
I love what we just saw there from Space Station, right? They got them 4 down. Most teams, they push forward, try to get a flag cap, try to capitalize on those numbers, but they realize, hey, there's only a minute on the clock. Let them spawn in their back base, make them have to fight through us. We don't necessarily have to get the 5th and final flag cap. We just need to keep them out of home, and Space Station do a beautiful job, a brilliant execution on that play, and now it's really gonna not leave enough time for Incognito to get back-to-back captures.
Yeah, a great start here if you're SSG in this qualifying round. So many question marks on your organization after not qualifying despite being the 1 seed last week. So this is the type of answer, this is the type of response you're looking for if you're SSG.
Yeah, and absolutely, Collect was brilliant this game alongside Tylenol. Tylenol with the overkill. Collect was a walking multi-kill in this game. Those two combining themselves for 44 kills as we end this game. They seem to be untouchable on the map, and that's what you expect to see from these two. You know, they're supposed to be your slaying duo on this team, and well, if you can see them both dominate in the feed, that's when you know things are going right for Space Station.
Yeah, and Collect, you know, and it really proving that he's got the mental and he's got what it takes to take that next step. You called him a potential superstar in the making, Toolez, and you know what? I absolutely agree. You look at some of the best athletes in the world. What do they do after they lose? They hit the gym, they watch film, they do everything they can to get that bad taste of losing out of their mouth, and that's exactly the type of player we have here in Collect, a rising star here in the HCS.
Look at Tylenol, how he just dissected the map right here, getting to everyone's help. You can tell he's just listening for the play, and he's able to find all the kills necessary for the over. And you know, I will say, I'm going to disagree with one thing you said right there. You said I call him a potential superstar. I'm going to say I call him, he is the superstar to making. It's definite in my opinion. You know, it's not about his potential at this point. It's a matter of when it'll be cemented into history. This guy, you can just tell when they play different. He reminds me of watching Bound for the first time, watching Shotzi, watching Frosty, and how these players really came up through the scene. I do think I do heavily believe that Collect is going to be the first great Halo player that was molded by Halo Infinite.
Yeah, and as someone who's been around the competitive Halo scene since the early 2000s, of course, I love the OG pros. I love seeing guys like Neighbor still competing. But you know what's even more exciting than that are the young guns, the up and coming, because the young guns show that the player pool is a healthy player pool. We have a lot of great players to look forward to, and Collect being one of them for sure here as we hop into game 2.
Damage is coming down, and this is an important fight for Incognito to win, and it's not happening. And this is, you see, you know, he reminds me of Frosty a little bit. You know, something about Collect reminds me of Frosty in his young days. Let me just say that. This guy has no patience for the other team. He says, hey, if I out-BR you, I'm gonna let you know, man. You're gonna get a taste of what it's like underneath. And he consistently just finds these massive kills, and look at just how confident he is. He just pushes forward. He has no care in the world. The overshield helping him forward as the noob combo eventually spells his demise, but it's such fun to watch Collect, and so impressed with the crazy tech play with the nades. This Space Station roster is fun to watch right now.
Yeah, and you can't be a rising star without dropping the bag when needed in Halo, right? It's part of the culture, right? It's really part of the history. So love to see that from Collect as he asserts himself, asserts his dominance, and really starts to get that belief in that he is, like you said, Tony, or excuse me, Tools, a top rising star.
He's absolutely going to shatter the ceiling ahead of him, and I honestly believe year 2 Collect will be the player that everyone's looking to add to their roster, and I hope Space Station can figure out their kinks so that he doesn't necessarily have to leave, because I think he could be the future face of this organization. He's absolutely incredible to watch play, and I'm very excited for what Space Station can do. They just need to be able to execute on their finishes, man. That's what's been plaguing them throughout this game, and the best way to do that today is come out and just have a strong 3-0. Don't have it be in doubt. Don't go to game 5. Just really show you are the better team today.
Absolutely, could not agree more, because in Halo, as Tony says, let me get a good reference in, there are levels to this, right? And for Incognito being the 8 seed versus #1, this is SSG's time to prove why they're the #1 seed, right? And we're actually getting the chance to see it finally. So great to see if you're an SSG fan, as they've had a tough couple weeks, but are looking great here today.
Oh, suppress breaking ankles left and right. Carmea finally stands back up and says, nah, man, I'm gonna get this kill. But it's the time that was bought that allows Ace to come down, get the trade out. And I love to see the plays. Oh my God, Surprise looking like a young Russell Westbrook on the court right there. Oh, I love the dipsy doos, the left, the right, the fade out, the fade in. Oh my God, breaking movement today as the lead starts to grow for Space Station.
Yeah, just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's a 2-possession, 2-team wipe game here, as Incognito gonna need to pull everything out of the bag if they want to come back. And let's be real, Tools, when you're looking at a comeback against a #1 seed, you can't go down 0-2, right? The reverse sweep is just so unlikely, and it chalks the mentals. So for Incognito, this is really a must-win here, despite it being early in the series.
Yeah, this game is so important. It's all in Carmea's hands as he has the sniper rifle to work with. Ace trying his best to get away. Oh my God, Ace getting some value out of his life. Gets the damage in, but it's not going to matter. Oh, and Carmea hits the jump. Yeah, such a clean jump, and it goes right into the pre-nade. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out, but love to see the movement tech, man.
Carmea hits, like, we should almost do it. Like, you want to have a topic on the podcast, Tools? Let's rank the top 5 movement tech. Oh my goodness, that would fall in the top 5 no-scopes we've seen here today as Suppressed takes the face of Collect, but goes down afterwards. So very important there, right? When you don't allow the other team to build momentum and to start feeling themselves a little bit, that's what you love to see there. So I love the defense there, take it down Suppressed after he had a chance to build some fire with that sniper.
Well, the problem is his overshield is just pushing down onto Incognito, and Collect has just been able to control the map thus far, and it's come at a huge detriment to this Incognito team, but they played that extremely well, right? Able to essentially make a triangle around Collect and all take their shots in and making sure that they stayed alive. Buys them time, and suddenly they find themselves closer and closer into this game. The deficit starts to simmer down, and you start to see Incognito maybe having an opportunity to start their comeback.
Yeah, this one's felt more back and forth than the scoreboard represents here. This next overshield is going to be a crucial battle as SSG takes the early going, taking down Cobb and Hative. What a great response there from Carmea and Incognito as they take down Suppressed and Collect. Looking to get the team wipe on Tylenol. It's going to be a triple kill for Carmea and a squad wipe for Incognito. And as a result, they're only down 6.
I love this guy. Carmea has just been an absolute demon on the sticks. Made a name for himself at the back end of Halo 5. As a young 14-year-old kid in these sweaty 8s lobbies, has finally started to find himself now a career opportunity in Halo Infinite. Carmea has a bright future ahead of him, and if they're going to get back into this game, it's going to be because he leads that charge.
Ooh, also leading the charge potentially there, that heat wave, a weapon maybe we don't call out enough on this map. It's really quite the power weapon if you really think about it. We've seen guys like Lucid pop off, but even more recently we've been seeing even more players use that heat wave to their advantage. definitely a weapon you want to make sure you're timing if you're one of the coaches here in the HCS.
Come from the back, and that's just an unfortunate series. Those two players that keyed or gonna take down Incognito's pair, and Cadev at least gets the trade out, but that might be too little too late as the overshield once again moves into the hands of Space Station Gaming. And I think that's really been the biggest difference thus far. You know, we've seen Sniper be in both hands and Suppress hits the shot, but it's been a consistent overshield grab for Space Station, and they've been able, oh my god, dude, that would have been nasty, but you go for it.
You know what, Tools, the thing about that, just attempting that is huge for the mental, because obviously, clearly, Suppressed and SSG, they're feeling themselves. And normally you'd be like, well, I mean, they're the number one seed, they should feel themselves. But coming out of that last weekend's results, these guys need to do everything they can to build that momentum, to build that confidence. Hitting something like a 360 when it's not going to affect the final result, I kind of love it.
Hey, you know, if you would have hit it, we're going back to the 90s, because he's writing checks. You know what I'm saying? He's checking those kids out. If he hits that 360 no scope, and really not much. Yeah, just not much to lose, right? You're up by so much. It's just a matter of time as Tylenol finds another one last kill to go as Suppress tries to hunt down the final player.
So much of Halo is asserting yourself, those little mini micro mental battles, and getting 360 no scope repulsored like that would have certainly checked these guys out, despite the series not being over after 2 games. But SSG gonna do quick work of Incognito. Can they make it quick work of the series and put to bed, put to rest all of the concerns and questions around this org?
Yeah, man, I really am impressed with how they came out today. You know, maybe last week they showed, you know, last week we saw it all from Space Station, where they thought they qualified, they came in, they learned in real time that they had to play in that tournament. Yeah,
that's how they found out. Imagine the SSG found out they were playing in last week's tournament the same time as Billy Bob 42069 in chat did, right? So absolutely unbelievable when you look at the mental. And like I said, we called it last week. We said, guys, don't be surprised if SSG doesn't make it this week, but next week. Now this week, don't be surprised if SSG doesn't drop a single game, because they are mad, they are angry, and when you're pissed off and you're playing Halo, good things sometimes happen.
Well, last chance for this Incognito roster to continue on their series and not have to drop into elimination bracket. Pool play is on the line. You cannot qualify from pools from the elimination bracket. You are only playing for bracket play at that point, and you know how important pools are. They just provide opportunity for your team. And we saw some crazy moments from both sides and great execution, but at the end of the day, it was the power up control from Space Station that made all the difference.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to see. And you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and make a little prediction here. I think Incognito qualifies. I think they qualify through losers. I don't think they're going to be a pool play team, but I think this squad is absolutely good enough to make it to the Super. And honestly, let's be real. I think it'd be a shame to not have players like Carmea and Neighbor, and even up-and-comers like Hative and Aperture in the mix next week. So don't be too surprised if we see Incognito get swept here in this series, but bounce back to make it to losers round 1 next week.
It's time. Game 3. Loading in. We're moving on to recharge, and there's so many power weapons to be aware of, right? The shock rifle, the sword, the grapple, the camo, everything is going to be up for grabs, and it's up to these teams to play at their highest level. The thing about it, we're on oddball, right? So there's plenty of time to get the job done. You could see a 20-minute slobber knocker today. And already Incognito getting the opening time.
I love this. I actually love how this sets up for Incognito. You know why? SSG is a team that has been playing on their front foot, playing on the heels, playing proactively, and it's really given Incognito trouble here. But Recharge, not only a very setup-based map, but when you add Oddball as well, the most arguably setup-based game mode, a chance to kind of change up the pacing and flow if you're Incognito. But my goodness, a team wipe again for SSG as they're going to hurt any of the goodwill that Incognito built early and just take it away.
It's about strong arming your opponent, right? I mean, that's instantly what Tylenol and the crew did. They didn't pay any respect to that ball rotation. They said, hey, we're just gonna full send it. You're gonna kill it. You're either gonna have to kill us on the rotation, and they weren't able to do so. And now you can see Space Station just soaking up time. There's no pressure being. Ooh, I don't know if I like that from Tylenol. He drops back out into the fight. He's able to get a couple, and it's going to work out in their favor as it's a clean wipe. I was thinking maybe he hits that rotate, but he comes back and he takes the team challenge. And the one thing I do like is that they fully committed.
Yeah, and you know what else I love from SSG right now is they're taking what the game gives them. When you go back to that Catalyst CTF, we saw Elamite, the coach, make the call. Guys, let that one go. What happened right after that? SSG scored a flag. Same thing I'm seeing here in this oddball game. We'll give Incognito that first 15 seconds as long as it means we get 30 instead. So I love what SSG is doing here, taking everything that's given to them and not taking or leaving anything else on the table.
What's so important, right, is making sure you control the power weapons. You saw Tylenol doing his best to try to throw that shock rifle off the map. He wasn't able to do so. And that gives Aperture and the team of Incognito a chance here to find the opening picks to get the camouflage and to turn the tides.
Yeah, something like that shock rifle can do just that. You pointed it out, and Aperture pointing it into the skull of his opponent, Tylenol, as he goes down. But again, it feels like every time a player starts to build a little bit of momentum, whether it's the heat wave, the sniper rifle, the shock rifle, not able to hold on to it here. And if Incognito wants to come back in this game, they need to see more control of the shocker. And it's not even about getting kills. It's just about making sure it's not in the hands of SSG, because guys like Suppressed can do just that.
Yeah, look at that beautiful job getting that shock rifle's use, and Lex gonna draw them all away, and we're into a ball reset. Now this is a critical moment for both these teams. I want to go into a listen-in with this Space Station gaming roster to see how they respond to this ball grab from Incognito.
Tower, two going tower.
Just gonna rotate door, two tower door, guys. Make cat weak, and front of tower dead. Make cat weak.
Wait, so I'm getting on the tower. Bottom mid.
I'll die.
I'll die. Pushing ball. I'm going to see. You might have a sword here.
Donnie, talk to me.
Upper glass, he's one.
He's doubling back.
I did not clear pump.
Long haul Mason. Long haul Mason.
Upper glass one.
Top glass,
He's trippy corner. Trippy corner.
Two long call on me.
C plat.
Three on us.
That's not bad, dude.
One tower.
Yeah. Sniping red steps, dude. I'm dead.
Alright, two.
Bottom tower.
Alright.
Listen, let's kill this red guy sniping. He's hella annoying.
Where is he?
He was red steps last time.
I need his top red. Nothing. I need a red steps now. I need his he posts long call. Grab it to long call. C-pad weak. Cobb. Cobb weak, long call. One shot long call, Cobb.
Two shots, sniping, secret.
I'm walking by mid. Nice, shit, one more. Sneaky. I'm going for ball. He's gonna play ball, okay? I'm getting new. Back up and play for camo. Leave this guy pump.
I got camo. I got it.
Bro, I can't reload, dude. What the fuck?
Help me get out, Aaron.
I have it. Don't see. C-pad right now. Come here. Go long call. Two more above you. He saw you.
Yeah.
He's above you now.
I have a cross on you.
He's die. Let's spawn in 1 second.
Bring it red if you can.
All's bottom mid. Ready, pass. Hell. One shot. Shoot. Push your BR. One shot. Hell.
Don't die. They're gonna go for one. Yeah, who's that?
Top tower. Push me. Top
Camo's about to be out.
Batteries weak. 2 of them, 3 of them.
Bottom A, guys.
Shot turbine.
3 turbine in bottom.
Got
Batteries.
stuck.
More top A.
On batteries. Top A.
I'm coming. Dead.
Under A.
One more bottom A. Bottom A.
There's a guy turbine as well.
One shot back elevator. Bottom A.
BC, bro.
One shot fast. Bedroom.
Yeah, double. Top.
Shot.
Need a ball. Bedroom. I'm going bottom mid fast, okay? One could be tower. He's tower.
Turbine and tower.
One shot hell.
Bedroom hell. I'm looking hell. Bedroom.
Yo, top cat.
I'm getting in the tower.
3A. You good, bud?
Calm, cool, collected is what I heard from that Space Station roster. But Incognito have taken their opportunities, but Suppressed who comes out on top. I'm very impressed with the comms of Space Station, but they cannot rest up at any moment in this game. Incognito have been slowly crawling their way back in.
Yeah, and I love the positioning there from SSG because of the close score. Playing that A elevator and getting the quick oddball play ball out to bottom mid. That was incredibly well done. But look at that. Carmea sneaking away with an oddball. Numbers in favor of SSG, but despite that, ball control, a little bit of milk for Incognito.
The most important part of the map right now is that bottom mid area. You have to get this camouflage away. It's okay to give up a little bit of ball time. That camo needs to go in your favor, and I believe Tylenol has been a player who might have gotten away with it. Did he get away with it? Does Tylenol have the camo? Yeah, Tylenol
Looks
has
like
camo.
he does.
Okay.
And that's huge because Tylenol's going to get to press up on C. Incognito might not make it to A if Tylenol can get a good camo right here.
And look at this. I mean, he's going to take the high position. There are only 10 seconds left. And Tylenol, he's going to be able to get an easy kill on Hative. Maybe easy.
But that's okay.
Hative down.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Time is going towards Space Station. They will take round 1.
And again, it just goes back to what I was mentioning earlier, taking what the game gives you, right? There, a lot of bloom on that commando, but great recognition of the situation. You didn't need the kill. You didn't need anything other than for him to just stop at that line of scrimmage. And as a result, SSG able to take round 1.
Already, the camo fight is in session, and looks like Collect's going to be able to get away with it. And Ace, I mean, talk about getting value for your life, right? There's no expectation for Ace to win the 1v2, but getting the trade out is so important for the team, right? Just buying your team more time, buying your team more space, getting value from your life is top priority. And unfortunately, we just saw maybe a little bit of a misstep from there from Collect, maybe too aggressive with that shock rifle as he gives up his life with that camo, and now Incognito looked to take advantage.
Yeah, I think Collect thought he was a little bit more hidden back batteries. Maybe could have taken that camo shock combo up to batteries, but it's all going to be for the film session afterwards. It's suppressed, and SSG still have control of that top tower and oddball.
And this is the round that matters the most to Space Station. They win this round, they qualify for pool plays. The missteps that they had last week are null and void. They can breathe a huge sigh of relief. As Incognito, I mean, they just have not been able to get anything done in this game. They cannot find the kills necessary to push in a kill feed that's been dominated by Yellow thus far.
Yeah, and to your point, Tools, SSG with a chance to kind of almost like erase what last weekend was. And I had a teacher in elementary school that was always used to tell us, a mistake is only a mistake if you don't do what you can to make it right, right? And this week, we're seeing Space Station put in the extra work, put in the extra film sessions to make sure they were prepared and ready to show that they are the #1 seed here in this tournament. So if you're an SSG fan, once again, you'll love to see it.
SSG cannot afford to have a misstep right here, and it looks like they finally realized that, and they've been getting in. And like you said, it's they could really just wipe away the mistakes that they made in previous weeks. I mean, last tournament doesn't really matter if you end up in the same spot that you were in. We see more kills go in for Space Station as they're walking. I mean, this is just, I've never seen a team look so, this is like Sentinels level composed right now. They don't freak out about anything. They just have each other's help. Everything just looks easy to Space Station right now. As you can see, they're just finding free kills on the map. Incognito keeps pushing, and their backs always being found by Ace and the crew.
Yeah, Space Station, you pointed it out, really only sprinting to just get to the spots on the map that they want to control. Afterwards, they're walking forward, holding that battle rifle out and shooting confidently as Ace gets a back smack onto Aperture, cleans up with that battle rifle. 2 going down for Incognito, 3 down once again, and this has been a little bit of more of the same from Incognito, but a nice piv there from Carmea as he has an opportunity to turn the tides with that kill, but no Collect. SSG smartly rotating away from Carmea after that kill.
And Collect gets that ball away, but I mean, Carmea, that kill was bigger for one reason. It gives that shock rifle back over to the hands of Incognito, and well, we know what Carmea is capable of. A young gun who is absolutely deadly with his precise aim. He can find a way to get his team back into this game. You're never out of it until that point total hits 100. You can absolutely find your way back in, and so far they have a great setup as they're letting Carmea really be the ISO player, getting that cross and have the ball in. What are we? Does he have a grapple? Does he have a grapple? Is that the reason why?
That's a play you might expect from Cloud9, and what happened there was Aperture with with no shields, taking the ball, giving the sword to his full shields teammate so he could take on the opponent with more math, with more shields. I love that play out of Incognito. That's, like I said, that's something you might see from an SSG instead.
That's a quick thinking from, I mean, both those players right there knowing exactly what they wanted to do. I was thinking maybe he had like a grapple and he's like, yeah, you have grapple. I mean, get the sword and go to the fight. But that's a great point. I mean, just making sure that your teammate has the most shield as possible. And that sword was so important there. And they're going to be able to get back up into this fight. They have a 2-10 advantage, but get Tylenol just so quick on the ball, is able to get around the corner. And we talk about value per life. And Tylenol just got massive value. He was able to get that ball away, keep it away from Incognito, and then pull them out of their position, allowing Spacestation to try to recover.
Yeah, that was massive. And I want to, going back to the drop weapon, a lot of people think of it as the medal you might earn after like a hold this, but really the drop weapon meta is in things that we just saw right there. Trading the power weapon to someone with more shields, giving the sword to somebody with camo instead, right? And I think the best teams take advantage of it. Like, that's why I use Cloud9 as an example. That's something I see from those guys all the time, trading weapons and dropping weapons to the player that makes the most sense to have in their hands. So again, a great play and something we could all learn from in the chat. From Incognito's gameplay here, despite being down against SSG, but don't look down. They're coming back. 50 seconds on the scoreboard. They have control of it at tower. They're kind of in a no man's land here. Looks like they don't know if they want to rotate to C or back to A, as they elect to instead take it to A and set up an elevator.
Yeah, Spacestation cannot rest on their laurels here. They have to keep pushing forward and try to find these kills. They cannot let this one get away from them. This would be a devastating blow, only being 20 seconds to win with a massive lead, giving it up. But it's Collect who does the work necessary. Triple kill for him, and he'll give him a nice little taste of what's underneath, as Collect will be able to get that ball. That being said, I mean, if they lose this game by 1 second, it's Collect's fault right there, right? Because he definitely wasted about 3 seconds of ball time to go shoot some bodies. But I don't think that's going to be the case, as all the kills go towards Spacestation, as they're going to qualify for pool play next weekend.
Yeah, the bodies stacking up, and so too are the points for SSG, as they are in fact going to punch their ticket. Took the long road, Tools. I think the very long road, you could say, but nonetheless, the end result, they have qualified for pool play and have plenty to build on after a great performance here today.
Whew. And that means we have 2 of our teams confirmed thus far for pool play. I mean, Spacestation is going to be joining Forbidden Fruit as a team that has joined the pool play for next weekend.